Okay, so once again, welcome and thank you for joining us today on this special day as we launch How a Civilization Begins by Richard Vargas. And I'm going to go right into our reading. Our first reader is Alexis Rhone Fancher. Alexis Rhone Fancher is published in Best American Poetry, Rattle, Verse, Daily, the American Journal of Poetry, Plume, Flock, and other journals. She's authored 9 poetry collections, most recently Junkie Wife by Moontide Press, The Dead Kid Poems by Kaiso Flash Press, Stiletto Killer by Edison Italia. I hope I pronounced that one correctly. Erotic, New and Selected by NYQ Books, and Duets by Small Harbor. Her photographs are featured worldwide, including the covers of Witness and Pedestal magazine. A multiple pushcart prize and Best of the Net nominee, Alexis is poetry editor of Cultural Daily. She lives with her husband on the bluffs of San Pedro, overlooking the Pacific Ocean, which is just a stone throw away from downtown LA. So I will ask Alexis to I'll pass it on to her.
Thank you. Nice to be here. Delighted to be reading for Richard, who is one of my favorite poets. I'm going to read this about Richard, which is what I put on the back of his most recent book. Richard Vargas has his finger on the pulse of America, whether bad-mouthing politicians, hiking in a nature preserve, wrecking his first car, or putting up with the wild rutting of the couple in the apartment below. Vargas spares no one, least of all himself. A born storyteller, he weaves a tale of love and triumph, spiced with Tito's carnitas, football victories, a junkie father, and lost loves. As a result, the reader is often caught in Vargas's headlights. But then, as he says in his poem 4/1/2020, we stare out the window, hold our breath, and wait for something to happen. I highly recommend this book. It's just delightful. I'm going to read, I think, 4 of my poems and 1 of Richard's. I think I'll start with Richard's. And this is 7 days after my sister's death. This morning, I peeled and sliced a potato into flat, crooked rectangles and even triangles, heated cooking oil and dropped the pieces onto a hot pan till they fried crispy brown. Then I cracked 3 eggs, cooked over easy. The thick yellow-orange yolks were intact as they awaited the fork's puncture that would create the slow, luxurious release of thick liquid over the slightly salted fried potatoes. I warmed a flour tortilla on the stove's open flame, flipping it over by hand and feeling the fire nipping at the tips of my fingers. And suddenly it comes to me, if this were to be my last breakfast, I would die a happy man. Dear sister, I hope it was like this for you on the day you ate your last meal. I hope you smiled and thought to yourself, damn, this is good. I think I have either 4 or 5 poems. I'm going to get started rather quickly. And my first up is actually, this was the one that was in Best American Poetry 2016. And it's called, When I Turned 14, My Mother's Sister Took Me to Lunch and Said, soon you'll have breasts. They'll mushroom on your smooth chest like landmines. A boy will show up, a schoolmate or the gardener's son, polecat all around you, all brown-eyed persistence. He'll be everything your parents hate, a smart aleck, a dropout, a street racer on the midnight prowl. Even your best friend will call him a loser, but that boy will steal your reason, have you writing his name inside a scarlet heart entwined with misplaced passion and a bungled first kiss. He'll bivouac beneath your window, Sweet talk you until you sneak out into his waiting complications. Go ahead, tempt him with your newfound glamour. Tumble into the back seat of his Ford at the top of Mulholland, flushed with stardust, his mouth in a death clamp on your nipple, his worshipful fingers scatting sacraments on your clit. Soon he will deceive you with your younger sister, the girl who once loved you most in the world. This one, for those of you who don't know, a sappist is a lesbian. And this is called Midnight in the Backyard of Lust and Longing. The sappists are at it again. Screw yous ricochet off our common walls, invectives landmine my window. You cheating bitch! Like clockwork, this drunken Friday night climax to their ceaseless lovers' quarrel. I'll kill you, I hear the big one growl, and then the smashed plates, the screams. By the time the cops arrive, it's a full-out brawl, the two women spilling from their back door, tussling across the no man's land from their tiny backyard and mine. Worse than animals. This time it's Holly, the younger one, dragged to the patrol car, yellow hair wilding, small hands cupped behind her back, kicking at the cop in those Daisy Dukes, an army jacket wafting her silhouette. More clothes than she had on the last time the cops rolled up or the time before. It's almost dawn and the trees shiver in the fog. Raccoons slink through the tall grass. Marie, Holly's better half, paces the yard in a blue bathrobe and slippers, smoking a cigarette, sobbing as the cops jam her lover into their car. Watch your head, she cries and flings herself across the yard, lunges for Holly through the glass. Baby, baby, she sobs, the reason for their discord long forgotten. Holly mouths a sloppy kiss. Marie opens her robe, presses herself against the glass. Can you believe it? I would do anything to be loved like that. All right, let's see. This one is one of my favorites, and it's called For the Sad Waitress at the Diner in Barstow. Beyond the kitchen swinging door, beyond the order wheel and the pass-through piled high with bacon, hash browns, biscuits, and gravy, past the radio turned to 101.5 FM, all country, all the time. Past the truckers overwhelming the counter, all grab ass and longing. In the middle of morning rush, you'll catch her in a wilted pink uniform, coffee pot fused in her grip, staring over the top of your head. You'll follow her gaze out the fly-specked plate glass windows, past the parking lot, watch as she eyes those 16-wheelers barreling down the highway, their mud guards adorned with chrome silhouettes of naked women who look nothing like her. The cruel sun throws her inertia in her face. This is what regret looks like. Maybe she's searching for that hot day in August when she first walked away from you. There's a choking sound a semi makes when it pulls off the highway, that downshift in a death rattle she's never gotten used to. Maybe she's looking for a way back. Maybe she's ready to come home. But for now, she's lost herself between the register and the door, the endless business from table to kitchen. She's as much left over as those Sunnyside eggs, yolks hardening on your plate. I have two more. Am I doing okay with time? I think I timed it. Thank you. All right. This one is called Faculty Wife, and it was written to an early lover, an early boyfriend, who, as the years have gone by, I am so grateful that I did not marry him. And this is called Faculty Wife. If we met now, I'd want to know, does he still play guitar, chase women? I've read he has a grown daughter, so it probably at some point a wife. He's a professor at a college in Georgia, Same job for 42 years per LinkedIn. I wonder if archaeology continues to float his boat, if he still has a preference for spinners. I'd tell him my third marriage was the one that stuck, that my sixth book has been translated into Italian. I'd share the poem I wrote for him, just published in a big-time literary journal, see if it strikes a chord. Here's the thing about that poem. The heartache was bigger than I thought. The sting returned, and again, I was 17, back when every man but one adored me. You're ravishing, he said, but self-absorbed, high-strung. Only room for one of us. When I was between men, I dreamed we married, remained in his hometown of Brooklyn, made it work. Once he renounced sex with his underage students or cocaine or both, I'd settle. Tonight, I imagine our anemic children, how I'd have been a faculty wife, smacking of less than and support staff before I'd even begun my life. I have one more, and then I'm done. This is one of my favorites too. When your stepdaughter warns you not to let her roommate's cat escape, it's like she's had a premonition. After she leaves, you'll explore her off-campus apartment, snoop in her drawers, try on her graduation cap. You will smoke her dope and drink her last Bud Light. The two of you have never been close. You'll read her roommate's diary, take notes. The cat, a Tom of indeterminate age, will rub his thin orange body against your ankles. You'll walk into the bathroom to pee, gag at the litter box teeming with hardened turds, avoiding the ones on the floor. The ammonia of cat piss mixed with the unmistakable scent of used Kotex pads will leak into the hall, where it will mingle with 4-day-old Mexican food and pizza stuck on plates in the kitchen. You'll recall your stepdaughter's slovenly ways, how badly she treated you, how relieved you were when she left home. The cat will pace, yowling at the bathroom door like Tom Petty. But when you put him in the litter box, he'll balk, stare up at you with marmalade eyes, nudge you forward toward the door. It will be an act of mercy. Later, you will sit on the stained couch where you'll watch reruns of Forensic Files in the fading light and wait for your stepdaughter's return. Then you will deny everything. Thank you.